Hey guys, welcome to Get Technical with Neal. I am your host today. With me, as always, is Coach Spencer, wonderful producer, always prepared. And remember, guys, this is not financial advice. This is purely for educational and entertainment purposes only, hopefully in equal measure. I am just a normal dude like you. I'm really not like a full-time day trader. I'm not a super fancy making $1 million driving a Lambo. I wouldn't say no to that. I never say no to a good time. But over my course of time working at Benzinga, I have learned a lot through osmosis, reading, self-teaching, watching videos. Dennis Dick, Joel O'Connor, the host of Pre-Market Prep that you would have seen earlier today. That's a show immediately preceding this one. Also from my colleagues like Ryan Faluna and others at Benzinga, and the guests that we have on this show every single day. So my goal here is to teach you what I have learned, what I'm currently learning. We are all students and we're all trying to get better and better and better at supplementing our investments with awesome trades that beat the S&P 500. So with that, I really want to announce something. One of my absolute favorite people in the world, in the entire world, Izzy. Miss Izzy. You probably know her from Twitter. If you don't, Coach Spencer, can you please drop that Twitter link or her Twitter handle in chat? Make sure it's up on screen. Follow her. Trade ideas all day, education all day. She has a full-time job. She works with traders. She lives and breathes charts. She's one of the best chartists there is, and one of the nicest people on the planet. I really, really enjoy everything about this person, and learning from her is just an absolute gift. So do not miss out on the opportunity to join us, to stay with us until 10 a.m. Eastern time for Izzy or Miss Izzy to teach you about some charts and give you some picks, what she's looking at right now. That's my main thing. I want to find out what she's looking at right now and why it's interesting to her from a chartist perspective. So I'm going to share my screen here. We're going to get into some charts. Spencer, let's get that up on the thing. There we go. We're on a bit of a delay. All right, guys. I had a couple things planned for the show. I do want to get right into the charts. I had a couple things that I thought would be fun. One is we got the contest pretty much knocked out, so make sure that you guys enter that contest. Don't miss out. There's just no reason to miss out. And make sure you do the extra tweet because it helps me. It helps me make Luke feel bad. But I had some other things. Like I was thinking about some fun stuff. Let me know if any of this is interesting to you. I'm not sure if this is going to be a breach of YouTube's terms of service, but I was thinking we make an OnlyFans account for Jason Raznick. That's one idea. Give me a 1 if you want to create the OnlyFans account for Jason Raznick. Give me a 2 if you think we should do it for Coach Spencer. All right. Those are 2 fun things I think we can do on live stream. If not today, maybe later in the week. I also want to let you know that we have Miss Izzy today. So we're getting 1 for Raz. 1 for Raz. Okay. See, the problem with doing it with Uncle Raz is I'm afraid that he's going to see some measure of success and leave Benzinga and do the OnlyFans thing full time. So I mean that's an existential threat. So we get Spencer on there. I think Spencer is a multitasker. I think we can get him doing both. And no, I'm not talking about anything gross, guys. I'm just talking about sharing trading ideas and education. My headset's about to die. I just got the thing, so I'm going to plug into it. All right, there we go. All right, guys, let's hop into. Thank you for the votes. We'll keep that in mind. Nothing weird. Just wholesome OnlyFans content that you can only get by subscribing. All right, guys, let's hop in. Let's talk about some stonks. First one I want to talk about for the day is Neo. This is one that we're checking back in on. Neo. Previously, I was feeling very strongly that we had a clear descending bullish wedge here. Descending bullish wedge characterized by lower highs, lower lows. All right. Converging though. So really what you get is a steep slope on the upper resistance and a more flat or slower slope on the lower support. But I don't want to get too ahead of myself. I do see a little kissing going beyond the upper resistance here. Of course, it's possible with a stock that's so hot like Neo to break out with only 2 touches on the upper resistance, but I'm going to keep watching because, as always, remember, folks, the rule of 3. You got to remember the rule of 3. We like to see it touch 3 times and then break out. All right, but still watch for that close above that upper resistance. Also, guys, how's the chart? I messed with my settings to make it as readable as possible. I mean, you should be able to see this thing from a satellite at the International Space Station. I even changed the colors to like different greens and reds. I was doing everything you guys told me, but I will not do a white background because that's for boomers. Apologies to everyone that self-identifies as boomer. All right, love the colors, Steven. Steven, you're always here for me. I seriously think we should hang out. We should really hang out, Steven. All right, so that's Neo, guys. Let's keep it on the watch list. Watch it for that breakout, all right? Because our upside potential is conservatively the measured move, which is the swing high to the swing low, plus the breakout point, which is either going to be here if we get aggressive, which we've got some RSI moving up, and we've got some green candles. If we see a big spike in volume down here, the breakout could happen, and it's going to be the height of that measure and move, which would be something to the tune of like 15%. Not too sexy in today's market, but still, I mean, that's a quick win right there. But of course, we want the whole pole. So very aggressively, what you could say is something like this, guys. You could even say something like this. You'd add it to right about where the apex would be, you know? If you were like Julia Cordova, who we had on yesterday, she actually took the length of the pole and applied it to the point of breakout on the resistance line, which worked for her perfectly on Tesla. She timed it absolutely perfectly. So again, like this is not an exact science. This is an art. So that's why it's really good to have like a rotating roster of stocks that you're looking at for periods of time. So you can kind of see how they play, how the people that are in them are using them. So if we get a breakout today, I would look for over some period of time the exact height of this whole pole for about a 70% return on that. All right, guys. That's Neo. Let's go ahead and look at SENS. Let's check back in. Is this working? It's freeze on me. Yeah, it froze. So SENS. Okay, there we go. I am on the daily increments, guys. You will see me almost always beginning at daily increments, and then I'll kind of zoom in with 4 hour, or I'll zoom out with weekly and monthly, so I can identify the longer term trend. So we're looking at primary and intermediate trends if you are a textbook type person, which really just means primary is the longer term form of the market. Intermediate is sort of what's happening with an individual stock within that period. So looking at this thing looks really good. This looks a lot like what Palantir looked like fairly recently. I would say like about a little less than a month ago. And it had a monster breakout. So I love these little tadpole bull pennants that we get here. So again, I still got my calculations up here, and they're holding true. Look at this thing. Give me a 1 in the chat if you guys got into SENS and you're still in it, holding it for the long haul, risking it for the biscuit, keeping a tight stop loss, raising it as you go, or using a trailing if you don't have time to keep an eye on it all day, but shooting for that $5 price target, which I believe is based on the poll. So let me do that. No, that's not even the pull, guys. So if we go from the base of the pull all the way up to the top of this measure and move, we've got an additional price target that's a bit more aggressive. We go from the apex here. Mar Mill. Can you email those to Neal at Benzinga.com? Email your instructions to Neal at Benzinga.com, and I'll work on it. All right, guys. So we're looking at a price target here. So the point that I'm trying to make is guys, you don't always have to. You don't have a crystal ball with this kind of thing. Yes, there are people like Izzy. Make sure when Izzy gets on here that we ask her about Tilray, because I'm 100% sure that she was looking at other factors besides the big three factors that I use, which are price, volume, and relative strength. Those are the big three things that I'm looking at. She's probably looking at other things like moving average, which I don't want to get into for the base of the show. I like to have the educators come on and talk about the more advanced stuff because I like to keep it simple. But anyone in here, SENS? All right, good job, guys. Good job. And the point that I'm trying to make with this is there's still room to go. And this is a great one to practice on. Keep your stops tight. If I were in the position of just noticing this breakout, if I hadn't been watching it, full disclosure, I am in SENS. I bought calls. They turned out great. I have made money on this stock on this bull pennant breakout. But I mean, if I were to be just getting in now, it's at this price, I'd be looking for 41. Guys, all right, 41. So we're going from $3.94 up to about 558, 560. So just remember when you're following these, this is a penny stock. It's volatile. Keep your stops tight. All right, we like our risk profile to be teeny tiny, eensy weensy. All right, don't let FOMO, don't let these big, huge gains that you see on stuff like Dogecoin and some very recently high-profile stocks make you break your system. All right, tight stop loss, move it up as you go, or use a trailing if you're unable to pay attention to it, and then set your targets. Things are going to change. What usually is going to happen with a stock like this is we'll get something, we take the stairs up, blah, 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 and then we hit that target, and then you're either going to get a sell-off, like aggressively, or you're going to get a period of consolidation that just makes another entry point. All right, so that's just giving everybody that's in this stock time to take a breather and decide what to do next. Next up, Nvidia. Let's talk about everyone's favorite graphics hardware manufacturer. Guys, we are looking at Nvidia. If you guys, this is a little bit out of character for me. If you guys know Ryan Faluna, Customer Success Director over at Benzinga Pro and the host of the Benzinga Pro Power Hour, which is the show immediately after this, which you absolutely need to tune into. He's pulling in all types of fundamental and technical stuff into his trades, as one should be if they're using Benzinga Pro. But this guy was on like every underground forum, Discord, every little weird Russian website trying to find out the restocking dates for an Nvidia graphics card at like every store within like 100-mile radius of where he lives in Illinois. This man wanted to get this damn graphics card for his computer. I wanted to. I'm extremely jealous that he was able to do it. I just wasn't willing to put in the time to do that. Point being made, this thing was selling out. Nvidia is a leader in their space. This purely on earnings, I would expect this thing to destroy and have great guidance because they've sold out of stock. Everyone still wants it. End of fundamentals. Looking purely at the technicals, guys, we've got a breakout on a bullish pennant here, our favorite. Let's get aggressive with this. We had this previously. We are at the point where we have a close above. So I am entering my moderate. Actually, guys, take a look at this. There's a reason I drew this blue line. This is an all-time high. This is a repeat of the all-time high, testing it. This is a test of the all-time high. Let me back up on Nvidia. Looks really bullish. I think we're going to break out, but we're testing this all-time high, which is sometimes difficult. So I'm updating this. Not a bullish pennant, guys. Sometimes we make mistakes, and then we take out our our little eraser, and then we fix them. This is now looking like an ascending triangle. Still bullish, still extremely bullish, but it's special because this upper resistance line is all-time highs for Nvidia. All right, so it's going to be tough to break through, but if we do, boy, oh boy, will it be fireworks. That's why I'm extremely bullish on Nvidia right now. I talked the fundamentals, talking charts. This thing looks like a snack, and I'm loading up. I'm buying this thing like toilet paper in April 2020. I didn't actually do that because I'm not an asshole. But what we want to do here is, one, conservatively set our target for the measured move plus the breakout. So that's going to be something at this point of resistance. It's very easy to place it because the breakout is going to be at this resistance level. All right. So that's going to be about 715 conservative price target 1. Once we hit that, because I believe we will, we raise our stop up and then we start going for all the marbles. I'm going to aggressively measure this pole. All right, remember we've got this upward trend that we want to measure and then add to our upper resistance. Where does that get us? 1042. 75-ish. Eyes should be on NVDA. Keep it in your watch list. This thing is looking like it's going to break all-time highs. I expect good things from earnings. Let's keep it rolling. Okay, and this was the contest one that we touched on yesterday, MVIS. Matt Maley, good friend of mine, frequent correspondent, frequent guest on CNBC, and the editor of Benzinga Breakouts, loves this stock. He's the one that first pointed it out to me. A couple of you guys that are watching this might already be in MVIS. This is the Lidar stock that spiked up a little bit, actually quite a lot, on the Apple Hyundai, Apple Kia Hyundai news, which even though that turned out to not happen, did not come to fruition, it's staying up. All right, people like this stock. Lidar is an innovative and disruptive technology that is crucial to the core innovative and disruptive technology that is autonomous vehicles. Keep your eyes on Lidar stocks. Find them, put them in a little Easter basket or whatever non-denominational satchel you like to keep things in. Bring them to the show and let's talk about them. As a matter of fact, use it on the contest. Spencer, if you want to post that link for the contest in there again, if you guys can find more Lidar stocks, that's very exciting because I think you're going to see similar patterns. So, guys, this is a rounding bottom, big juicy bottom, and we are getting to this point here. So this is an important point. Anytime you have a period of consolidation, that creates an important point of support and or resistance in a stock. Okay, so I'm going to go back, and again, remember, the longer the rounding bottom, the bigger the breakout is going to be. This thing is looking really good. We are watching this thing for a breakout at the about $18 level, but these things aren't perfect. That's why I usually like to make these lines either big ass rectangles or very thick lines, just like the bottoms that I like to find in these reversal patterns. Keep your eye on MVIS. The price target for that, guys, and I'll just give that to you right now. Again, I know we've already done this, but we like to check in on these, so we're all watching them together. Is going to be $37. That's going to be the base, the depth of the base, plus the breakout point. Give or take a few bucks or cents. Sam. Everyone read Sam's comments. He just might be ahead of his time. All right, new picks. We need it, Spencer. We need music for new picks. All right, new picks we're looking at. Let's take a look at DraftKings. You guys have been hearing about it a lot. This is probably one of the most traded stocks if you're watching Twitter, if you're watching pretty much anything in the world. DKNG, erasing all of my drawings. A recent, what is it, Big Ideas post coming from Kathy Wood of ARK Invest is very bullish on sports betting. So there's a little bit of background on it. And DraftKings, of course, is the biggest in the space in terms of public companies. So when I look at this, we're testing all-time highs. We're looking for a breakout. You've got something that kind of looks like, I would really love to know, Izzy, what you think about DraftKings, because I think that what you've mentioned it. Izzy's in the studio right now, so I know she can hear me. But when I'm looking at this, I'm just looking for a breakout and a measured move added to that breakout. So I would take a conservative, 40%, which in today's market, that's considered conservative. I would look for that to resolve over time. If I see that breakout, if I see a solid day candle close above this point of resistance for new all-time high for DraftKings, I'm going to get some calls on it. All right, and now here's another one. This is a ticker I'm not totally familiar with. TGIX, I did some drawings on it this morning, but I'll erase them so I can walk you guys through it. Guys, give me a 1 in chat if you know. I love that you guys are still on the toilet paper bidet thing. Give me a 1 in chat if you're a toilet paper person. Give me a 2 if you're a bidet person. No shame here. No shame. That's number 1 or number 2. All right, TGTX. Let's switch over to our weekly so we can compress this time frame. So we're looking at the weekly chart for TG Therapeutics Inc. Look at this nasty, nasty downtrend over an extended period of time we've got on this. This, again, guys, is a reversal pattern. We're looking at the place where the buyers are just, they're saying, this is where I'm going to buy. This is, every time it hits this price, I'm buying. All right. So that's what's created the support down here. I mean, look at this huge buy volume here. And what we're looking for is a breakout. Another rounding bottom, just like MVIS. Looks like not like a big thing because we're looking over at it over such a long period of time. But let's get down to the daily. TGTX. We've got a little bit of consolidation here, if you can see it here. Let me stretch this out. Yeah, that's going to help a lot so you can really see what's happening. You can see that we've broken above this resistance or the neckline of this rounding bottom, and we've got a period of consolidation. But remember, if I just extend this with rounding bottoms and other patterns like it, we often see that return to resistance, which is now support. The resistance has become support. We see a return to it with a bounce. So this is all going according to plan. This looks just the way we want it to. And it might do that a couple more times, guys. It might do that a couple more times, which allows you to zoom in and look at it even closer and see if it forms some type of bullish pennant or bullish, some type of bullish triangle. So this is sort of a pattern on top of another pattern type thing. But in terms of entry, in terms of measuring exit, I'm looking at this thing and saying something along the lines of entry of a close above $46, which are already my headset keeps turning off, and then an exit at about $87. Exit at about $87. Let's go ahead and give that a measure. That's 90%. So who knows how long it takes to resolve, but what I can tell you is that when you've got a pattern like this that's over such a long period of time, this is going back to 2011, these things happen quick. They're quick and powerful. All right. All right. Shout out to everyone with the 1s and 2s. I see we have some gentle people of culture in chat. That's wonderful. All right, guys, that's it for my picks for the day. Spencer, can you throw up all the stocks that we're looking at right now? Can you throw up Neo, SENS or SENS, Nvidia, NVDA, Microvision, MVIS, DraftKings, DKNG, which we're following closely right now. That one's we're not sure if that breakout's going to happen. It might test that upper resistance, come back down, and then we're going to continue watching. And then TGTX. Spencer, if you can. Yeah, all right. Thanks, guys. Add them to your watch list, guys. And remember, this is not financial advice. This is for education and entertainment purposes only, hopefully in equal measure. But my job here is to find some great picks. All right, guys. We are just about at time for my little segment. I want to remind everyone of two things. One, we've got the contest. So enter in the ticker you like, identify the pattern, and retweet the tweet that I have provided. And then you've got a good chance of winning some awesome Benzinga stuff. Spencer's putting the link in chat right now for you, so you can enter that if you haven't already. I see that Miss Izzy.
She had to do a quick reboot. She'll be back in a moment. Oh, she's back now.
All good. I wonder if she's still working on the same MacBook. I think it was either a MacBook Air or a MacBook Pro previously. So guys, if you want to, here's the play. We're gonna ask Izzy if she's still working on the same problematic laptop that she had when I first met her in 2020, and if she is, I need you guys to donate to the Jason Raznick OnlyFans fund, and we're gonna use those monies to purchase a new trading machine for Miss Izzy to use at home, because I'm sure she's got a sweet setup at work, but she needs something at home. All right, Spencer, I'm going to put my big mug up here. All right, enter the contest. Give me your continuation or reversal pattern for your stock. Give me your entry price. Give me your exit price. Give me your expected percentage returns. Make sure you enter your email in there. Feel free to black out the email by highlighting the cell with a little black thing if you know how to use Google Sheets, if you don't want people to see it. I have you guys on the honor system right now, so don't do any stupid crap. If you do, you're obviously disqualified from the competition. And if you retweet the tweet, if you copy and paste the tweet that's provided on the top right of that contest, I will put your name in twice for the drawing to win our illustrious prizes of a lifetime subscription to Benzinga Pro, Benzinga t-shirts, Benzinga mugs, a compliment from Neal. I'll throw that in, as well as free access to the Benzinga Bootcamp. And if you don't want to wait for the contest, make sure you go to benzingabootcamp.com, where we will be focusing this February 20th on SPACs and options, a full day of education. I'll be there. Hot Stocks Luce Jacoby will be there. Tons of great people. So without further ado, it is 10 a.m. Eastern Time. I would like to bring on my guest, Miss Izzy, a.k.a. Sailor Moon, a.k.a. Influencer Izzy, a.k.a. Izzy, the best, my favorite. Izzy, come on. Let's add her to the stream.
Hi, Neal.
There we go.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm blushing this morning.
Uh-oh. I wonder why that might be.
Thank you. And yeah, I am still using that same PC, by the way. Still
I can kind of. Okay, so we'll do something about that, Izzy. I think we're definitely going to do something about that.
The worst part is it's not even a year old. Like it's brand new, so I don't know. I'm just.
And what is it?
The MacBook Air. I probably should have just got Pro. So I'm going to build a custom computer, I think.
Now we're talking.
My brother's a huge gamer, so he offered to build it for me. So I think that's the plan. I'm probably going to toss out my Mac and go the PC route.
There we go. I highly recommend. And you should do it with your brother. Building a PC is fun and rewarding. So I think that might be something you might enjoy, or just have him do it for you if you can't be bothered.
Yeah, he'll probably do it for me.
All right, great. So Izzy, I was wondering, what stocks are you looking at?
Okay, so the only thing I'm watching right now, and sorry, I'm so distracted. It's because my biggest position in my portfolio is TLRY, and this thing is just raging right now. So I try to make sure I get proper exits. So it's kind of crazy because I actually had my price target, I think, set to 45, and then it blasted right through that in pre-market. So my second target was 51. And now this thing just hit its, so I figured if it hits 51, it's probably going to fail there, come back down, and then maybe in like a few weeks after ACB earnings, once like, you know, the marijuana stocks kind of sell off for a bit like they usually do, then it'll maybe test the $65 resistance on the monthly, but it looks like it tested that today. So I'm just going to show you guys what I'm seeing here so that you can see what it was that I was looking for on this TLRY chart. Yeah, it actually hit 67, I think, and 66.74 was the top level that I was looking at here. So you can see that. You look at 69.23 or 03 and notice how it hit just right below. I was thinking that maybe it would get stuck at that 64 range, close to that 65.20, but yeah, it just blasted right through that. And then if you pull up the weekly chart, then you can see the previous levels I was looking for. And
Izzy, what do you press to make it go full screen like that?
I'm using TradingView in Benzinga, but I hate that picture, like you can't actually save pictures in there. So
we're working on it.
I have to screenshot everything, so I have like 30,000 screenshots on my computer. That's probably why my computer crashes so much.
Hey, we're working on it, Izzy. Come on, go easy on us.
So this is what I was seeing here. So if you pull up the chart, there was a ton of resistance at this mark here around 43.86, and it kind of stalled right in that gap yesterday. And this is what I like calling like a channel. This was like a huge channel right here, but it just blasted right through it in the pre-market. So now I'm gonna see if we can somehow crack over 69 on a retest. So I then pulled it back up, and I was looking at the 15-minute chart and the 5-minute chart. On the 5-minute, I was trying to see if it would retest at 69 to see if it could go any higher. And I actually have some screenshots here that I can share because I was looking at it earlier. You can see where it failed here, right? So this is a massive fail here. Mm-hmm. And I'm actually going to maybe pull up my screenshots just so you guys can see what I was looking at.
Yeah, please do. And then I'm really curious, and I think others in chat might be as well. The platform, Eddie, is Benzinga Pro. She's using the charting tool in Benzinga Pro, which is powered by TradingView. Izzy, I'm interested when you see a failure.
Yeah.
If you can tell folks how you watch for support on that failure. Okay. How you find it and how you time your actions.
Unfortunately, with TLRY, that's when my computer froze up and I was joining in on the stream when it failed support. But this is what I was looking at right before my computer froze. You can see on the 5-minute chart. First, I was looking at the 15. So I kind of start with like the bigger time frames just to see the sell-off volume. And you can see how heavy it was there on that 15-minute time frame. And then I was watching to see if it could hold that 60.83 spot. And then as soon as it started to crack through that, so you can see when it cracked right above 60.83, now it's in the candle, right? So as soon as it started to go above 60.83, and then this spot over here around 61.44, that's when I reverted to a smaller time frame on the 5-minute chart, just to see what's above that 60.84 level. And you can see that 61.97 was some real heavy resistance there. And I think that's actually where it failed, if I'm not mistaken. We can pull it right back up. Yeah, that's where it failed on that 5-minute. And then you can see again, it tried to test it and it failed again. But so just like how I used my strategy on the daily charts, if they gap open higher, then it looks bullish on my end. I use the same strategy on the 1-minute, 5-minute, 15-minute charts too. So the reason why I figured it was going to try testing 62 is because it had a gap open higher on that 5-minute chart. So notice how this candle closed lower and then this candle opened higher. So that's how I knew it was going to try testing the bottom wick here and the bottom of this candle and this candle here. So, and I just kind of revert back and forth between time frames. So that's how you can tell if it's probably going to test lower, and then switch up between the time frames that you're using. So right now on this candle, so we had a close of 57.50. And then this candle opened up at 57.59. So I could assume that it's probably going to try testing above this level here and then maybe test this wick here. And you can see how it kind of tested that spot right there and it failed. So.
And Izzy, are so you're doing this all based on wicks, not the body, right?
Well, it also depends if I'm seeing a flag. So if I'm pulling up now the hourly chart, this was kind of like, so actually this is a great example and it happens to be in real time. So if you're looking at this here on the hourly chart, that's a really nice tweezer bottom on that hourly. That's like almost a perfect tweezer bottom. And then as soon as it cracked over that tweezer, that's when it started to create those new highs in pre-market. As soon as it broke that 56 level, then it blasted off to 67. So I use a combination of things.
I'm clapping, Izzy, because you taught me what a tweezer bottom is. Can you zoom in on that and kind of show folks what exactly a tweezer bottom is and what it does?
Let me just clear all this stuff. So I'm using a combination of things. Volume, so look at the volume that cracked up right when that tweezer bottom happened, and then the open higher. So that's my second strategy. So tweezer bottom, open higher, volume, boom, it like blasted right off. So if you zoom right in here, you can see this is the tweezer bottom right here. So they're usually supposed to be pretty level. Usually the tweezer bottom has slightly higher highs on the green candle, and that's because the momentum is trying to test higher. It wants to break higher, and then their lows are supposed to be pretty equal. So these lows are actually really equal. This close here was 50.95, and then this open here was 50.85. So super close in range. And then to kind of confirm that pattern, I usually always look at an open higher on the following candle. So same thing on the 1 hour time frames, 5 minute daily charts, whatever it is that I'm posting. I'm using that same sort of strategy here. So now because this thing opened higher on that 15 minute again, I'm going back and forth now between here to see if it can crack through this spot here and see how it's kind of just failing right there. Like it's trying to get there and it's not quite. And keep doing that back and forth until I see a failure. So a failure on a breakout would have to be some heavy sell volume on a larger time frame for me personally. And then because I feel like the 1 minute, 2 minute can psych you out sometimes, because I always look at the bigger picture, which is why I went out to a monthly and a weekly chart. So looking at the 30 minute, you see how it's kind of like consolidating here. It's trying to make these similar body candles, so it's holding that same support on that half-hour time frame. But the thing with these cannabis stocks is they're super volatile. So me personally, I like to lock in profits on these super volatile names. Maybe I was the sucker yesterday that locked in some at 44, but I just knew that was some really heavy resistance, and with ACB reporting on Thursday, I figured it's probably safer to lock some in.
So I just want to point out, someone mentioned that Izzy, I'm in no way is this a denigration. Someone said she's talking so fast. Guys, Izzy is live trading her position that she's in right now.
Yeah, and
speed is the game.
Exit, so be thankful. I could have got that 67 exit. Okay, so you should be very happy right now. I'm even live. Come on.
I'm really glad you're here, and I'm really sorry about that computer failure.
No, it's okay. I actually talk fast naturally. Arabic is actually my first language, and Arabic's a very fast language. So when I speak in English, sometimes I talk really fast. So that's another reason here. Plus, I only have 15 minutes, so I'm trying to get it all in.
I guess something I'll add as well, guys. Tilray is a big, very volatile stock. Izzy has said this multiple times, so it's very important for her to switch between increments. She's mentioned this multiple times. She's going back and forth between 15-minute, 5-minute, day, everything to see exactly what's going on so she can do this. And guys, if you want to see how she's doing this, if you want to see how you can play a trade like this and follow how Izzy does this, watch the recording afterwards and play it at like half speed. YouTube lets you do that. You can slow her down.
Sorry, I'll try talking a little slower. I heard you say, you mentioned that you wanted to take a quick look at DKNG. I don't mind pulling that up quickly here because I have a position in DKNG, so probably have a quick minute to look at this one.
Yes, please.
So DKNG, it was really getting stuck at that 58 spot, which was where this really heavy resistance was in this candle here. So this was kind of like a speculation play for me too. So I knew with like the Super Bowl coming up, and then even having March Madness around the corner, and I'm not even a sports fan. I just kind of like speculating here based on the charts, based on potential catalysts that are coming up. I figured it's probably going to try having a breakout heading into that catalyst. So that was kind of my spot there. And what I was really looking for was a crack over this spot here, and it kept getting stuck there. So like it was trying right here, and it got stuck over here last time. And then it tried again, and it got stuck in that higher gap. You can see how it started making higher highs. So that's my first. That's kind of my first indicator I look at when I'm seeing if something can break. And the reason why I said it's going to break when it did over here, I have the charts actually on Twitter if you guys want to go check them out, is because it was testing higher highs. So it tested around, I think like that 57 mark there, and then 58 around here, and it kept like making higher highs. So as soon as we had that gap open here on that week, ideally I was looking at this weekly chart, and actually this is another tweezer bottom on the weekly DKNG. So I played it last time back here on that tweezer bottom, and it was doing really great up until it failed right around this spot here. That was sort of the fail on DKNG. And then I looked to play it again this second round with that tweezer bottom there, but it had failed to open higher. So that was my first indicator that it was probably going to consolidate quite a bit and maybe struggle to fight through that 57, 58 spot before cracking higher. So, and I'm really just using this weekly chart, but I think this company overall is probably a good long. I know there's been a lot in the news on this one though, so that could change, but really all I was looking for here was the retest of this all-time high on an open higher. So this was the key indicator for me last week, is when it had gap open higher on that weekly.
So you are like a tweezer bottom sniper. I've never seen someone mention it as much as you.
I like kind of going between candle patterns, obviously the wicks and the body of the candle, and then volume, and then I do look at the tape. So I'm just kind of using all of them at once, and then I'll use moving averages on like my daily and weekly charts, kind of just to up my game. And I'm probably one of the only people that uses like these really high averages, because I think algos are built to do that. So I think they're using like these 200, 300, 400, 500 averages. And that's kind of what I've started doing over the past few years, because when something is out of that range, I feel like it's being picked up elsewhere. And that's worked well for like FCell, Plug, all of those names that consolidated for like, almost a year, and then they just randomly broke out. I was using that 500, 600-day average on there, and test it out yourself. Try using the higher averages and try using it to your advantage. So people think I'm a moving average trader. I'm not. I'm a candle trader that has an edge with moving averages. That's kind of just my strategy.
Okay. That's actually a point of clarification for me, because I had assumed you were going moving averages first. So just to reiterate for folks, so like the traditional moving averages that people are looking at, Izzy, right, are 20-day, 50-day, and 200, right?
Yeah.
And then you're saying go beyond 200 to something like 300 and 500 and see if you can find trends that are matching those lines.
Yeah, so I can actually maybe on Twitter sometime later today, I'll post FCell as an example, because that's a huge long of mine.
Mm-hmm.
And just for reference, and you can see where it was that I was seeing that big breakout that was coming up on that one.
Beautiful. Well, Izzy, aka Sailor Moon, aka Miss Izzy. Thank you so much for joining us. It's always such a pleasure to talk to you.
Thanks
I
so much
hope
for having me.
it's truly been a pleasure. I know you're at time, and I know that you're on the clock today, so you probably have to get back to your day job.
Yeah,
So thanks for being here, and I hope
I'll
that
just
we
go
can.
trade some power and I'll trade some stocks. Let me do that.
There we go. There we go. So guys, make sure you follow her on Twitter to get more of these trade ideas and to learn more about how she looks at charts and the markets. Once again, Izzy, thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys, that is Miss Izzy on Twitter. I got the Twitter handle here posted on the screen. Make sure you follow her. A lot of folks talk about how do you discover the stocks that you're looking at. Number one, Benzinga Pro. A lot of times, some of the stocks that I cover that you don't see being very popular, like being posted on social media and stuff like that, I'm using Benzinga Pro for that. I have screener filters set up that I worked with Ryan Faluna a little bit on to find trends that are starting to sputter out to create consolidation periods that I can enter into. All right, so I've got sort of like a trend finder, like a trend consolidation finder in Benzinga Pro. So once again, if you want to try that out, but it's pro.benzinga.com, absolutely free to jump into. Izzy is in there; she's in the chat room as much as she can be. Once again, like all of us or most of us, she's got a day job, so this is side hustle, making money on the side. One guy, Jason Rasnick, is here. Guys, don't tell Jason about the OnlyFans thing. That's just between us. But he's saying subscribe to the channel. I don't think that he will let us, Uncle Raz will let us keep doing this thing unless we get more subscribers. That is how we keep doing this for you guys. So make sure you smash that subscribe button. Come on. And hit the like button to let us know what you think of the show. All right, guys, we have about 11 minutes. I want to remind you to go to benzingabootcamp.com to sign up for the Options and SPAC Bootcamp for a full day of education on a Saturday, so you can learn how to best play options. I know you might think you know everything about options, but I guarantee you'll learn something that you can take to the bank on the following Monday. I also want to remind you guys that this show is on 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time to 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time every day of the week. So set like a calendar reminder or something so you can join us. Let's take some tickers from chat. Coach Spencer, if you're there, let's get the tickers from chat segue. And while he's doing that, guys, drop your tickers in. Drop your tickers and let me know what kind of pattern you think you see, and let's talk about it. And there it is, guys, the creepiest jingle you can possibly imagine for our segue. Give me some tickers. First one I see is EH. Let's look. By the way, shout out to Steven. We are breaking this all-time high. It is above this previous here. So keep your eyes on NVDA. What was that first one? EH?
That was it.
That was it? Okay, I don't know this one. Spencer, can you inform me what kind of stock is this?
This is eHealth. Oh no, it's not. This is a Chinese. What is this?
All right, I like it so far.
Let me go to the details. Which no, it is not. It's stand correctly. This is aerospace, autonomous aerial vehicle technology platform. Wow, that's a lot.
Okay, well,
sounds like
something that has gov contracts.
Yeah, $1.4 billion market cap company. So not nothing. Yeah, aerospace and defense industry.
Beautiful. We've got a pennant here, guys. So remember our 3 triangles. The rule of 3. 3. We've got our ascending triangle. We've got our descending triangle. And we've got our symmetric triangle or wedge. In this case, we've got a wedge. or a symmetric triangle, which creates a bull pennant. That's what you got on your hands. Whoever posted this, thank you for posting this. Is wonderful. I'm going to go ahead and add this bad lad to my watch list. First thing I want to look at is our price target number 1, which is from the height to the swing low, which creates a measured move. We add that to our breakout point, which we're almost to our price target on, of about 123. So keep your stops tight. We're looking at 123 on EH. For the long haul, since this is one of those, it looks kind of like a cobra. It's like a cobra slithering through time. Since it's very obvious where the base of the pole is, we're looking at an aggressive or secondary price target where we raise our stop losses to about, let me click on that, 157. So ultimate gains from where it is today of about 45%. Good pick. All right, what's next? I want to try to go in order. Let's look at GSAT. Another stock I don't know, but I'm assuming it has to do with satellites. Am I wrong? Provides mobile satellite. God, I'm so smart. All right, GSAT. Huh. Okay, tough one. Let's zoom in on this one. We're going down to the 5-minute. Yeah, okay. So what you've got here is a pretty indiscernible pattern. Unless I can find something here. Yep. So this stock is so small that it's extremely volatile and very, very subject to price changes. What I will say is I'm going to draw a trend starting here, and then we notice that, well, actually no, the trend is almost continuing. It's accelerating slightly, but based on the fact that we've got these highs followed by this low, it's possible that we've got a reversal here. So I would say if I were in on this, I would probably exit at this point in time unless I see a discernible pattern. Remember, the number one thing that I'm looking for is a trend, which we have. One is trend. We got a trend. That's the first thing that we need to identify. The second thing is a pattern, a clear pattern. And I'm just not seeing a clear pattern on this, so this is not something that matches my personal trading style. This is something that Miss Izzy might be able to find something else. She might see something here. I do not. All right, next up, Oxy. Didn't we already cover Oxy today? We can look at it really quick. So I'm still on the 5-minute, guys. So
I don't think we did this morning, Neal.
Oh, we didn't?
No.
All right. Let's catch up on Oxy then. Oxy is one that we've had on the show a few times, so we're just checking in. Let's go to the day chart. Oh God, look at all my drawings. Yeah, Oxy is still looking like a snack, guys. So Oxy has done what we said it would do, which is closed the gap. It has closed the gap, guys. And then also notice that this gap makes up about the meat of, if you will, the battle between bulls and bears. Creating this rounding bottom period of consolidation. So I'm going to quickly go back to this one. You guys should be really familiar if you watch the show, and you guys you should be able to read my notes on the top. So this thing is still, I'm still in this stock. That's why I kind of assume that we talked about it, probably is because I think about it like often. It's a position I'm in. So paintbrush, rectangle. So we do this at the meat, right? Just at the meat, we go to the base. And then we go across to where the rounding bottom starts to go back up. And then we draw our targets based on the lowest point of the depth of that base and add that to the resistance. So we're looking for a target of about 30. All right, $30. And we see that this is 100% happening, guys. You're welcome. So Oxy still a great stock to be in. Not too late if I were to enter now. Actually, now with this one, now that you bring it up, I'll probably pile in and add to my position. I will add to my position. When you see your breakouts resolving the way you want them to, especially when they're establishing a trend. The trend is continuing higher highs, which we got 3 higher highs so far. We've got 2. Actually, we can take this back. We have reversed. We have reversed, folks. This is a reversal of this prior downtrend. So we're entering an upward trend with a price target of about $30. All right, next up. I'm sorry if I'm talking too fast. Again, remember the clips come out a little bit later. You can slow them down if you want. So where are we at? We're at 1027. Everything is selling off at the moment. Guys, keep the stops tight. Keep the stops tight. All right, let's do SPCB. Supercom, not familiar. I like what I see.
Yeah, Neal. After you're done with that, can we just pull up like a chart of SPY? I just want to take a look at what, because it's a pretty weird day so far. And by weird, I mean red.
Okay, absolutely. This is looking like kind of like, this is a double bottom, guys. This is a great pick. So I'm going to draw my line where the meat happens here. Remember, this is where there's like a little bit of up and down, the choppy, not like a crazy special spike that goes above it. So you've got a rounding bottom on SPCB. I'm adding this to the Get Technical watch list. Good pick, whoever put that in. Awesome pick. So we're watching for a break, a close above this line of resistance, shooting for about $4. This is a penny stock, extremely volatile, so keep stops tight, and we'll see how that one pans out. Let's take a look at SPY.
Yeah, we're pretty much across the board here.
What's everyone freaking out about?
Maybe not. That was an exaggeration.
Yeah. All right. Come on, guys. Yeah, we might have something down. There might be some type of news catalyst that's bringing things down, but guys, don't panic. When we look at this trend, let's go here. We're still, not only are we still on trend, so if I draw this, I mean, basically here, the trend is still accelerating. So I draw from this point. This is an accelerating trend, right? So, I mean, if you were to draw using Julia Cordova's squiggly lines, which I'm going to do manually using my paintbrush tool. This is curving. All right, guys. So over the primary period or over the intermediate period, it's all good in the hood, as they say, from a technical perspective. All right, how much time we're at? 10:29. Guys, thank you so much for joining me, Coach Spencer, and of course, Izzy. That is, smash the like button if you enjoyed the show. Give us a subscribe if you enjoyed the show so that we can keep doing this for you. Remember that contest is still open, so enter in your patterns, your tickers, give us your email address so I can get a hold of you if you win. We will do the winners of that contest this week. I'm not sure which day, but we'll do the raffle this week.